What is going on, everybody? It is Monday night, so it is time for the I-71 Playbook Podcast. I am Phoebe, and with me, as always, is BC. How are we tonight, you young, dapper sir?
Sup, BB? Did you not know that I replaced your old host with a 20-year younger version of himself?
Put it back on your face. Quit it.
You are not the only one that's had that reaction. Yes, I will say this.
The other woman in your life is telling you to put it back?
No. Oh, yeah, actually, yes, for the first time. That was a new one. But one thing that I got genetically, I got my father and mother's ability to look 20 years younger than they do. And I am so thankful for that. So yeah, I was told this weekend, you don't look like you're almost 50.
Yeah, well, that's what I said.
Then the world came crashing down.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
It's a spring. It's a spring. It's a good time of year. It's getting warm out. You don't want to have to deal with this, so it's just easy just to shave it, take care of it. And not
it's
worry about
getting warm out. Does Mother Nature know it got warm out? Because
I don't know.
I don't know about for you. It was.
I don't know about up there in that state that we're not going to name, but down here in good old Northeast Ohio, yeah, it's been hovering, 50s, 60s, 70s for about the last week. It's been pretty nice.
It was 52 today, and it was raining.
We did have some rain today. I
thought we were going to end up in Oz with the wind, so I was like, let's not.
Yeah, it's like I said, it rained today. The rest of the week's supposed to be sunny, 60s and 70s. So I will take it, and so will my freshly shaved face. So it will not be cold.
Put it back. Put it back right now.
So, Phoebe.
Don't like it. Sir.
We have a little change of protocol as I am the one with the notes tonight, and you have been busy.
I'm so proud.
And I would like to congratulate you on your new job, which is fantastic. Hopefully it's going splendid. But
it is. I'm very happy. I have an office with a door. Like, that is I've been excited about since I saw it. So I'm very excited. I'm very happy. But I'm also not working remotely anymore in a big girl job. So we are a little frazzled. But we just got to get the new routine, so we'll be good.
So who'd ever thought? So we're on episode 21. Who'd ever thought when we did episode 1 we would both have completely new careers? Who'd ever thought that?
I know.
Everything has changed since November. It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
I know. It's wild. It's absolutely wild, but it's all for the better. And Our pod is legal now. Our pod can drink. Like it hasn't drunk before. I mean, yeah.
So,
cheers.
Today, couple things. Obviously, our big topic of discussion and a majority of this pod is going to be Thursday night. Browns picking number 2. About the draft is supposedly supposed to start at 8, so that puts the Browns on the clock about 8:10. So with commercials about 8:15 ish before Raj comes out with their pick.
Ish.
But
heavy on the ish.
Before we get there are some other things happening in Cleveland sports this week. As we warned everybody, do not worry about the Guardians. They're going to be okay. They are now sitting at 12-9. They're a half game back of Detroit in first place in the Central. Prime condition.
And as we speak, are spanking the Yankees.
What's the score?
The last I looked, it was like 6-0, and that could have changed because now my phone is on D&D, so I may not have, they may have scored before then. But that was also fun to see.
Your phone plays Dungeons and Dragons?
What's that?
Your phone plays Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes, it does.
That's amazing. That's a smartphone.
Considering I have no idea how to play Dungeons and Dragons,
I have recently learned in the last year or so. Yeah, seriously.
Really? Nerd!
Yeah, total nerd, and it is a blast.
No,
A friend is a dungeon master, and she has taught me how to play. Taught me and some friends how to play. It's I got my own die and everything. It is
ooh, look at
crazy.
you!
Yeah, it is absolutely
Look
crazy.
at you!
So anyway, the Gardos, they're sitting fine. Offensively, they're finally starting to come around. We do have a couple worries on the pitching staff right now. Definitely,
Yeah.
we've been following the saga of Tristan McKenzie since spring training, and it looks like he's been
I
designated for assignment.
know.
And I believe so. I should have researched just a little more. I just saw that come across. I believe he's out of options, so that means he's gone. I don't think he has any more options. So if he was designated for assignment, I believe Tristan McKenzie is a free agent, basically.
Well, weren't they trying to like experiment with him as like a position player?
Were they?
Yeah, I thought I saw something where. Yeah, my other news source for sports, if it doesn't come from you, it comes from my cousin. He had sent me something where they were trying to kind of work with him about being a position player, and he was having more success than that as a pitcher. So
it would have been hard to have less success. Yeah, it'd be hard to have less success than he's had on the mound this year.
I know.
I mean, unfortunately. Also, question for you, BB.
Sir.
Last night they completed a 3-game sweep of Pittsburgh, but not without a little heart-stopping ninth inning. Has Emmanuel Clase blew another save last night with his ERA hovering over 6 now. Should we be worried about our closer?
Yep, and here's why.
Tell me.
He has not recovered from the series with Detroit last year. When they broke him open, he has not recovered because they brought here. I'm even going to take the glasses off for you for this. You know, we can do conspiracy corner all we want.
Sure.
I want to say what was it? Game 5, Game 6 with the Tigers last year during the.
I believe it was Game 5 during the ALDS. Yeah.
Okay. They broke him open and absolutely rocked him. And then so he goes into the series with New York and just folds. Yeah. He has not gotten his confidence back. So until he gets out of his own head, we should be absolutely worried about our closer.
And here's the weird thing. The fastball is still over 100. The cutter's still moving. The slider still looks like everything looks good. He's just not locating. He's just not locating it away from their bats. And
right. So what good is a 90 or 100 mile an hour fastball or a cutter if the guy is going to bury it, 430 feet?
Right. And in the major leagues, it is crazy. A major league hitter is going to hit a 100-mile-per-hour fastball if it's down the pipe.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy how good those guys are, and it's like they have a book on Clase, and almost like the Indians, the Guardians have not adjusted. Whether it's who's calling the game, whether it's the pitching staff, whatever it is, the adjustments need to be made because his stuff's still electric. His stuff is still great.
Yeah. He's
just serving it up right now, and it's odd. It's really odd. It's not like a physical thing. It is. I agree. It's totally mental.
It's all mental. I guarantee you, it is all mental because you just as you said, the mechanics are still there.
Yeah.
The muscle memory is there. He's still hurling 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. The problem is he's hurling them over the plate, and they're getting buried.
Yeah, he's not locating. And hopefully they get him straightened out because we talked about the Guardians, them being the AL Central is a gift, but their margin for error without Emmanuel Clase closing is very small. Yeah, exactly. They have to have that bullpen at top strength. That bullpen carried them last year. I don't know if people realize
it did
how historically good that bullpen was last year, and that really carried them. If it was a close game after 7 innings, the Guardians won. They just didn't lose games until the playoffs, and so yeah, they really need to get that together. But hey, they're starting to hit the ball. Kyle Manzardo is just he put one out of PNC 2 nights ago. Really hitting the crap out of the ball. So no, the guard's going to be okay. Guard's going to be okay, but some early things they got to get straightened out.
There's 152 games in a season. You're not going to win them all.
162, my friend. 162. Is
it 162 now?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's 162. Yep, 162 games. Okay. So anyway,
math is not my friend.
It's because you don't have your notes with you right now.
Sure.
So I'm blaming the new job on that. Okay, so now moving on.
Don't do that.
The Cleveland basketball team is 1 down, 15 to go in the NBA playoffs.
I saw that. Look at that.
And one of the great things about the victory yesterday against Miami was, for the last 2 months, we kept hearing how Darius Garland had lost everything. And Darius Garland was magnificent last night. Donovan Mitchell tied Michael Jordan's record for the most first game series 30-point games, NBA history.
Ooh. Okay.
And it was crazy. It was a quiet 30 because off the bench, the man who should be sixth man of the year, he is definitely up for the award, Ty Jerome, went absolutely bonkers in the fourth quarter. And I don't know. I've seen it a couple times this year where he just gets hot. And, when he starts pulling up from about 27 feet away and burying shots, you're just like, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. No. The Cleveland basketball team is going to win that game when Ty Jerome is playing like that. So, hey, we play again Wednesday night. 1 down. Like I said, 15 more to go until they hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy again. Bring another one back to Cleveland. Let's do it. Okay.
I like it.
Now.
Hold on. Before we get into all of that is draft, real quick, since we are talking about playoffs, unfortunately, the Columbus Blue Jackets did not make the playoffs. They were eliminated, unfortunately, through no fault of their own, because when you need help to get into the playoffs, that's never a good thing,
It's on you. It's on you at that point.
Yep. You need to be in control of your own destiny. So unfortunately, however, despite all of their best efforts, the Cleveland Monsters are in the playoffs. They fell into the playoffs, essentially. They clinched the number 5 seed and are taking on Toronto. So there is also, I don't know, it could be a little repeat of 2016. You've got the Monsters that are going for the Calder Cup. You've got the Cleveland basketball team that's going for the Larry O'Brien.
Bring them home, guys.
I'm just saying.
Bring them home.
I'm just saying. It has happened before.
I would love another championship parade, but I'm not going this time. That was I was one of the 1.1 million people in downtown Cleveland that day, and it was brutally hot, and I saw nothing except for an attempted murder on
thanks.
End up getting locked down in the winking lizard as a teenager fired a gun, and it was like a zombie movie, like seriously, like, so
more wings here, so stress, more wings here, wings for everyone.
We get in downtown at about 10 o'clock. We waited for like 2.5 hours for the RTA. We get in downtown about 10 o'clock, and we're like, okay, we're gonna go to the mall. Like, that's where the big ceremony and where they're gonna do all their things. Later, as we found out, LeBron would drop multiple F-bombs on live television. Good times.
Yeah, there's that.
Would we, if we ever had LeBron on the pod, would we have to tell him to clean up his language? Or would you just let it go because it's LeBron?
If the day that we get LeBron on this pod, I will get out of my wheelchair and do a little dance. Actually,
So,
no. Let me rephrase that. The day that we
yes,
get LeBron on this podcast, I will come back from hell, and then that's where we will be,
like every
because you know how I feel about Mr. LeBron Raymond James.
so like every 40 plus year old male in Ohio, I know someone who knows somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who played with LeBron. So, there's a chance. No, not buying it.
I might be sick that day.
So
I might be
anyway,
washing my hair.
yeah. So we went to the mall. It was literally it was just bumper to bumper. You couldn't move, couldn't walk. They did not have any porta potties close to the mall. So
No,
you just held it, and it got, like I said,
we could.
it got to 90. It was super
Yeah,
hot. So my little group and entourage, we decided, hey, we're just gonna go to the Winking Lizard and sit this one out. So we get to the Winking Lizard, and while it's going on, the celebration's going on the stage, because they didn't get there till 3 o'clock. We had sat there from
right.
basically 10:15 to 2:45, and we're like, we're out. We can't do this anymore.
This is nuts.
It was insane. And then if you know that the old Winking Lizard, so it has moved since then, but the old
It
Winking
has
Lizard
moved.
had two streets to come here. Euclid and I can't remember, Prospect maybe. They come like this together right at 9th Street.
Yeah.
And so we just happened to have one of those seats like here at the V, so we could see
Mm-hmm.
everything. And we just see
Mm-hmm.
this horde of people running. It was like a zombie film, or like, Independence Day, when the aliens are about to fire up the laser cannons. And
What the hell is that smell?
yeah, and then the PA, like we're watching they have this stuff playing on, on over the speakers, and the PA comes on. This is the manager. We just like to know there has been an incident outside. We will be locking you in. You are completely safe. Just go about.
Oh,
We're going to complain, but just it is not safe to go outside at the moment. As we're seeing people run for their lives,
were you?
there was actually a shooting. It was the only
Yikes.
incident, which is amazing. It was the only incident that happened with all those people there.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. And then to top off my day, I kid you not, I'm on the RTA on the way back, and I'm watching Kelly and Bruce Drennan sing show tunes the entire time way back. And it was
I love that.
it was one of the more incredible things I'd ever seen in my life. As somebody who grew up listening to Bruce Drennan singing show tunes on WKNR. So anyway,
I love it.
what an experience back in 2016.
So I'm just saying, history can repeat itself. So there's that.
Let's bring it.
All right,
So
let's bring on the pancakes. Let's do that now.
So yes, Thursday night,
It's almost
5:45, La Casa de
Pancake time.
Erlenspiel. This the elite, this exclusive event. Actually, I got a ton of people coming over. Are you coming down? You coming down from Michigan?
I can't, unfortunately. I got to work.
Yeah, we used to be tight. We used to be tight. Whatever. I take a personal day for you. I'm just saying. But anyway. So
On a new job in your first week?
So at 5:45, I will be playing draft day. And trivia question: What are the first? Who are the first two voices you hear in that show?
Jim Rome.
Mm-mm.
No?
I mean, you're on the right track. You're on the right track.
I thought it was Jim Rome.
No, it's Cleveland's own Tony Rizzo and Aaron Goldhammer.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, so actually, funny story. You want to talk about, like, I know someone whose baby mama's hairdresser and whatever knows LeBron.
Yeah.
I'm actually related to Tony Rizzo in a long succession. He is actually my father's cousin.
Bring him on the pod. I love me, Riz.
I've met the man twice. Once was at a wedding, like a huge family wedding. And I'm talking, this is like a huge Italian family wedding.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're Italians. You guys have those big weddings. Not stereotyping or anything.
Just saying. And then one was at a funeral. So not the greatest of circumstances. But yeah, on my grandmother's side, they are related to the Rizzo family. So
Get Riz on this.
Just
It gets us instant credibility. It'll at least get us 24 more viewers, 24 more subscriptions if we get Tony Rizzo. so anyway, draft day, and then at 8:00 the NFL draft will kick off. It's a pretty sure thing. Tennessee's taking Cam Ward. There doesn't seem to be any questions about that.
No.
My Cam Ward crush is officially over because I'm not going to root for him in Nashville.
Aww.
I know, and when he goes and lights up Music City, I'm gonna be, yeah, that could have been us. Had Jameis not ruined it with a victory over Pittsburgh in the snow. But anyway, I digress.
No, I will take a victory over Pittsburgh. I'm perfectly comfortable with the number 2 pick because we won in the snow globe.
Yeah, I can't like put that down. But anyway, or Kyle Hamilton grabs a Jameis Winston interception. We lose to Baltimore. We're back in number 1. But anyway, we like Jameis on the pod. I'm not gonna love
Jameis.
I'm not gonna besmirch Jameis's his good name here in Cleveland. So anyway,
Jameis completes 100% of his passes. 50% are to his team, and 50% he shares.
I still can't get over the please God deliver me from the pick six. That still is the single greatest line in sports history. Like you
can't begrudge the man. The man can throw one hell of a presser. I mean,
yeah, you cannot deny it. So Browns picking number 2.
Yeah.
As we've known, and I'm going to throw some questions at you here, BB. But as we've known, I have been steadfast. How you like that one?
Yes.
Steadfast.
Ooh. Look at you and your SAT words today.
I have been adamant
that's another one.
The Browns are taking Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
And I would love to come on here and be right. Because you know how much I like to be right. We do know.
I do know how much you like to be right. And I do know how much we are on this pod. We're right most of the time here. We're right more often than we're wrong.
We have a good feel. We know our Cleveland sports. But as much as I'd like to be right, as much as I have been on the Shedeur at number 2 train. And once again, that's not because I want that. That's just what I felt was going to happen.
Right.
I got to be true to myself.
I
got to be true to myself. Last week I came on here and I said I'm on an island alone, and even my bestie Mary Kay jumped off and said Travis Hunter at 2. I think the Browns are taking Travis Hunter at 2, and
you found a boat.
I did. I'm off.
Did you take Wilson with you off the island?
So this is that's it.
Or wait, should I say Hunter instead of Wilson?
By the way, don't hate, but I've never seen Castaway. So just letting you know, I've never seen that movie.
I've seen it once, and that was enough.
Yes. So
that further proves don't ever go traveling with Tom Hanks. Like, don't do it.
Yeah, the other night I had Apollo 13 on. I'm like, I'm not getting in a rocket with that guy.
Don't travel. Anyway. The Terminal, Joe versus the Volcano.
Oh, that's
Forrest
another good one. Sully. Did he play Sully? Yeah.
Yeah. He put it in the Hudson.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, we have, I can say we have, and if I'm speaking out of turn, please correct me because I know you will. You'd love to. So we have steadfastly said the Browns need to pick out the best quarterback and take him. We have been on that train. And to me, the second best quarterback, I think hands down is Shedeur Sanders. Even Mel Kiper still has him ranked number 1. There's a couple guys, Joel Klatt, Mel Kiper, have Shedeur as their number 1 quarterback. Some draft experts like Shedeur. I have just been convinced that the fact that Travis Hunter just fills so many needs for you.
He does.
Let's think about this. So when you think about draft needs, the Browns need a wide receiver. Well, you know what? He
We
wanted
do?
Blitnikoff. You know, as the best wide receiver last year. The Browns need a cornerback. He won the Bednarik Award for the best defender. I mean, this guy won the best receiver and best defender, not to mention the Heisman. It's hard to pass on the potential upside. We know he's the best athlete here. That is just fantastic on both, ends of the ball, or both ends of the field. Like, it's just hard. It's just super, super difficult to pass on him. And I just can't see the Browns passing. And another thing too that kind of leads in is I think the Browns really, really like Jalen Milroe. I think one of the problems the Browns have right now is, at least last year, is their lack of explosiveness. And if you can come away with what I think they're going to try to do, they're going to get Travis Hunter. And then I think they're going to try to get Jalen Milroe, and they're going to come away with the two most explosive athletes in the draft.
Okay.
And, Jalen Milroe, the one thing that everybody agrees, he has the most upside. He's got the biggest arm. He is a 4.3 40. We told you we talked about that. Everybody's going to fall in love with that 40-yard dash time when he ran it, when he ran a sub 4.4, and he ran a sub 4.4 at Alabama.
That's right,
and it's intoxicating. But here's the difference, and let me tell you, here's the difference. A lot of people are like, well, Anthony Richardson, blah blah. Jalen Milroe's played a lot of football.
Yeah,
he played at arguably top 3 program of all time. Okay, with Alabama. So he's playing the best competition. Now I know he's been inconsistent throwing, which he has, but he's also had 3 different offensive coordinators in 3 years. One of those offensive coordinators got the most out was Tommy Rees, okay, who would be his offensive coordinator for the Browns. If once again, if the Browns were to get him. But the thing about him and Travis Hunter, and it's something that you and I have talked about, we want high character guys in this draft. That's the only thing that you and I have both said. We want high character guys. And there is, Travis Hunter, this guy lives, sleeps, eats football. He's on Sports Illustrated going fishing. He doesn't drink. He doesn't party. He doesn't do this is a good kid.
Good relationship with his mom.
Great, just a good dude, great teammate. Everybody loves him. Think about this. He was the number 1 recruit coming out 3 years ago. The number 1 recruit coming out of high school. And he went to Jackson State and HBCU to play with Dion. He could have went to A school, Clune, Ohio State, and he went, and all he did was dominate everywhere he was.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe, we've talked about this. This kid gets a master's degree at Alabama in 3 years.
Yeah, that's you have a master's degree.
And it took me a lot more than 3 years. I will tell you that. And this kid, once again, all you hear about is how high character, how intelligent, how coachable. Teammates love him. Everybody, once again, good family guy. These are the kind of guys you want to, if you're going to do kind of this soft rebuild, which it looks like the Browns are trying to do.
Yeah.
That's what you bring in. And you bring in a guy like Joe Flacco. Why? Because we know Joe Flacco is a high character guy. Okay. Yeah. Joe Flacco is loved in that locker room. And so, you're bringing in these guys that are really going to try to change the perception from what the crap show it's been the last couple of years with we know who at quarterback. And so, there's no better way to jumpstart this than not only get the 2 most explosive athletes in the draft, but 2 of the best guys in the draft. And so my hope, that's where I'm at. You take Travis Hunter, You get this guy who's going to, eventually, he wants to play both. He wants to start on both sides. But at least if
he does,
you start him a wide receiver and you give him at least the nickel packages on third down, opposite of Denzel Ward, okay, let's roll.
The only thing that kind of didn't sit with me, and I saw it this week, or it may have been late last week, that he's come out and basically said, if I can't play two-way, I'm not playing. And I'm like, baby, you are really not in a position to make demands going into the draft. So that didn't sit entirely right with me.
It's funny when I saw it because I thought of you immediately, and I'm like, yeah, BB's having issues with this. But let me tell you something. I loved it because it just goes to, well, we want competitors. This kid wants to be on the field every down. That's his competitive nature. So not only is he smart, is he the best athlete, the Heisman, the Bednarik, okay, the Biletnikoff. Not only he has all these accolades, he's arguably the best cornerback in the draft and the best wide receiver in the draft. Not only all that, okay, and by the way, Mel Kiper said he is the single best prospect he's seen since John Elway. So
we don't say that name.
Just has a prospect.
We don't say that name. No.
I'm sorry. Has the former Denver quarterback who resembled their mascot. Okay. So some of you got that, some of you didn't.
Usually,
okay.
Wow. So we are really flipping roles tonight because usually I'm the one that's making you lose your mind, and this week apparently no notes, and I am. So here's.
On Monday
I
night
get
BC.
what you're saying.
On Monday night BC, right. You're Sunday night BB. Monday night BB.
I guess. Woo. Look out. WWE Raw. Here comes DC. Dropping bows. Elbows up, baby. Elbows up. Anyway, so I see what you're saying about the competitiveness, and I get it. Where I go with this afterwards is how he's going to react to if he's told no. So hypothetically, let's play devil's advocate because you and I love to do this to each other. So we take him. We take him at 2. And our head of our defense goes, we want you more on offense. You're not going to play two-way. So he's got one of 2 options. He can either back up what he said in the press and say, cool, I'll sit out. I'm good. Or if he goes, okay, coach, and rolls with it. So that's where we're going to go with it. But you're right. You are absolutely right. When that hit the press, I was like, ooh, no. I totally pulled a Consuela, and I was like, no, Mr. Superman, not here. No. Oh no, I can't hear you anymore. Oh no.
What the hell just happened? We switched sides.
We did switch sides because apparently my earbuds decided to die and I couldn't hear you. So we're doing it raw. Wait, no.
Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. Yes, Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw. There we go.
So we were talking about Travis Hunter. You were talking about his comments playing both ways. I like the competitiveness in the kid. I'm going to tell you right now, every team that he is interviewed with, that he's going to be gone in the first 5 picks. There's no way he gets beyond there. If it's not the Browns, probably Giants. If it's not Giants, definitely New England. Right. He's already been told he's going to play both ways. They've already told him they have a plan for him. Like, this is just this kid making comments. That being said, did you see Andrew Berry's presser, pre-draft presser?
I heard about it. I read the afterwards. I did not get to see it, unfortunately.
So I'm going to use a couple of quotes. Okay, a couple of terms that he used when And we can just so Andrew Berry is notorious for not telling us anything. Him and Kevin Stefanski are both really good at this.
Right.
It was clear that he like me has a man crush, but his is on Travis Hunter.
Right.
And it was pretty clear as he tried not to gush openly, but he was kind of gushing. So these were terms that he used to describe Travis Hunter. Unicorn. Shohei Ohtani.
I did see that. Yes.
And he went on to talk about when you have somebody like that, it's up to you to figure out how to use them. And he went on about Shohei Ohtani. He said, could you imagine if he only played in the outfield and didn't pitch or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He was making the case that if this kid's a Brown, this kid's playing both ways. They're going to figure out a way. And the thing is, Travis Hunter is, and I don't, once again, if you did not see it, unfortunately, I saw a lot of Colorado football this year because they were on. Like if you wanted to watch a game after the primetime games, it was Colorado. They were on national TV all the time.
So did we, yeah.
And saw a lot of Travis Hunter. And once again, the apt description is electric. He gets the ball in his hand. He is electric. Kevin Stefanski has now twice talked about how he has the best ball skills he's ever seen. That was also brought up by draft gurus Daniel Jeremiah and Dane Brugler. Both said this kid has the best ball skills. Has a defensive back or a wide receiver. So, once again, I truly believe that the Browns are crushing hard on Travis Hunter as much as I've been pushing for Shador. As their second best quarterback on the board, I think it's Travis Hunter, and I think they need to guarantee themselves if Shador or Cam Ward were choices 1 and 2, they got to figure out what other guy they want. Now that goes to your boy, and this is something I still don't understand. Okay, we talked about. I don't understand why Shador's falling down draft boards. I still don't understand why Will Howard's not in this conversation.
Right. I
for the life of me, I don't get it.
I don't either.
There are weird things that happen in the draft every year, but I'm sure as heck not taking, and this goes to my worst case scenario, I'm not taking Tyler Shuck over Will Howard.
No, dear God, no.
And there was a report today. Adam Schefter reported that there's a team that has Tyler Shuck as their number 1 quarterback.
I love that for them.
This kid, he's 26. He was Justin Herbert's backup at Oregon.
Right.
He has played 1 complete season of college football. He has had 3 season-ending injuries. I don't understand. And then you got Will Howard, who just, led one of the most improbable title runs in the history of sports. I don't get it. But my worst case scenario, anything involving Tyler Shuck. I will have Brandon Whedon flashbacks. That almost killed a friend of mine. He almost had a heart attack when he saw Brandon Whedon taken. I will tell you. I
will have shit show Johnny flashbacks.
I will
tell you this here and now. I am calling it here and now. Sunday night, 8:15-ish, 8:15 adjacent. Raj comes out.
Oh, you talking
with
about
the number
Thursday night.
Right, Thursday night. Thank you.
Okay. No, okay. I was about to say Sunday night about 8:15. Yeah. That's gonna be you and me on the pod. Okay.
Right. Thursday night, 8:15-ish, Raj comes out, with the 33rd pick or wherever. If they do, because I do still think that they're going to trade back into the first round and make some magic happen. I do. I think I've got a feeling about it. But with whatever the pick of the 2025 draft, the Cleveland Browns select Tyler Shuff, I swear to all things holy, I will be calling you. I'm not even going to text. You don't even have to answer. You don't even have to say hello, because all it's going to sound is just a string of expletives, probably in English and Italian.
So I don't think he's in consideration. I think the Browns once again want to get explosive. He is not explosive. His bones are explosive.
He is explosive, but unfortunately,
yes.
It's more explosive diarrhea than explosive play. So let's not.
And the thing is, you know, and you are a former native of Louisville, and
I am.
you know the Cardinal program pretty well.
I do.
And I can remember, you know, was it now 7 years ago? You're telling me, hey, Lamar Jackson is a real deal quarterback.
Lamar is the real deal. Like, I actually got to see Lamar Jackson. That's the only college football game I have actually ever gone to.
Really?
Was U of L. Mm-hmm. Yeah, U of L.
Nice.
I don't remember who they were taking on, but I do remember watching Lamar Jackson, and holy snot, that kid, you know, in college was something special. And clearly he's become a menace in the NFL. So, I mean,
and you know, once again, you know, I don't like the comparisons that people are making with Jalen Milroe to Lamar just because he's fast. And I think there's another reason they're also making those comparisons.
And I don't think he doesn't have the same problem with, you know, being explosive on Monday Night Football when he plays in Cleveland.
But Lamar was a good passer.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't he's never been polished, but he is a good thrower of the ball. Jalen Milroe, Jalen Milroe is not that. He's an explosive athlete with a cannon for an arm, but when he misses, he misses. And
he does.
You have to be coached. But here's the one thing. So going back to the 2016 draft, I'm sorry, the 2018 draft, and you know I was a happy camper when Mr. Mayfield came to Cleveland. We've had many discussions about that.
You were. I was not. I was not.
You were not. You were not. But there was another guy in the draft, Josh Allen. Josh Allen completed about 50% of his passes in college.
Mm-hmm.
What he had going was he was super athletic. He was huge. Had a cannon for an arm. Okay. And he had a quarterback coach, Jesse Palmer, who kept saying, "Don't sleep on this kid. We've worked on his mechanics. He can be coached to be a good passer." And you know the rest is history. He's an MVP now. You know, Buffalo has a shot at Super Bowl every year because of him. That same quarterback coach is saying the same stuff about Jalen Milroe, who he's coaching right now. And he said, this kid is so smart. He's picking up his footwork's 100% better, and he's going to be a good pro. And when you know, Jesse Palmer talks and he knows these guys, you should listen. So I think, you know, if the Browns can get, and I agree, I think regardless if he's falling, get back in that first round, get that 5th-year option, because if he does become your quarterback of the future, you want to have him locked up for 5 years.
So I've got a question for you.
Yes.
A little devil's advocate question.
Okay.
So actually, it's more of a 2-part question. So you mentioned Tommy Rees. And Milroe had one of his best seasons production wise under Tommy Rees.
Yeah, his best season. Yeah, it's not even questionable.
Okay.
Under Nick Saban and Tommy Rees. Yep.
Okay. So do you think that they knew or they had an idea that they wanted to bring Milroe in when they brought in Rees?
So I don't think
you don't think it goes back that far?
I don't think they hired Tommy Rees with that idea, but I do think they lean. So when they promoted him as offensive coordinator, / quarterback coach. Well, he's not quarterback coach now. They brought the guy that's friends with Dion. I can't remember his name. But when they brought him in to be the offensive coordinator, I think they really leaned on him and said, "Tell us about this kid."
Right.
And the thing I understand, I was listening to an Alabama football insider, and he said, you know, Nick Saban wanted to bench Milroe, and Tommy Rees went to bat for him, and ended up, you know, Milroe ended up having a great year 2 years ago, because Tommy Rees went to bat and said, "I can coach this kid. We can work with this kid. He's the best on our roster," and it worked out. It worked out. So this is a guy he actually believes in. Like, we know that from his actions. I do think the Browns are more apt to take him if, once again, Tommy Reese says this guy, we can really do something special with this kid. So
Right.
yes. So do I think the Browns hired him 2 years ago thinking this? No.
Okay.
I think they hired him because they trust Nick Saban, and also Tommy Reese was, he's a big name. He's one of those up and coming coaches. He's got a little star power behind him. He'll probably be if the Browns find success offensively, he'll probably be a head coach at some point in the NFL. That's kind of where he's tracking to.
So follow-up question on that.
Yes.
Go ahead. No,
go ahead. I was just going to say.
Follow-up question.
I was going to say, coincidentally, I think like the Ducks are in a row because of him being with Cleveland, Milroe coming out. Cleveland, probably not. They're not high enough on a quarterback to take him at 2. But if Milroe's there in the 20s, they might move up to get him,
or try and move up faster than that. If they can, because like I said, they've got the draft capital to play with.
And going back real quick, I'm still sticking to there's at least 4 There's 4 quarterbacks. Am I bigger than Kenny Pickett hand here? There's 4 quarterbacks that are going in the first round. I'm still saying there's 4 quarterbacks going in the first round. So
numbers are hard.
Monday Night BC.
Ooh, I love it. Okay. So piggybacking off of that.
Yes.
Do you think that, because there is one person that is not in the war room of Berea that knows the Browns draft plan? And that's Miles. There's no doubt about it. Don't, because they told him, they had to have told him, look, this is what we got going on. Can you roll with this? So do you think, and him having that conversation, sitting there with the, like the cat that ate the canary grin, and saying, they know, he knows who they're picking at whatever number. If it's at 2, if it's at whenever, he knows. And you can't tell me differently, because he's not that good of an actor. I've seen better acting in adult pictures. So,
whoa.
I didn't say the actual word. I just said adult movies.
Monday Night BB.
Anyway.
Okay.
So do you think they actually told him, what if we took Travis Hunter and if we go for Jalen Milroe? Will that please the Miles?
I don't think they told Miles crap. I think Miles had an idea. Like they said, hey, here's the general plan. They can't guarantee who they're getting after unless they go 2. Like they can't unless they said and this is what's getting went back into this went into my whole Shedeur Sanders theory, right? It went into this because I said if they told Miles, the only person they can absolutely guarantee is Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
So that's why for the longest time I believe
Milroe at 2.
They're not taking Milroe at 2. There's no way.
So,
and
I don't know. I'm playing devil's advocate. That's all.
No, I don't think they told Miles crap. I think Miles is playing around. Miles, when he told Andrew Siciliano that he does he have an idea of their plan moving forward at quarterback? Yes. And I truly think Miles would have been excited knowing that Joe Flacco was probably coming in. And that could have been it. But it's not, it's definitely like it's not a quarterback coming in at late first round, early second round that he's planning on.
Okay.
Miles got $40 million a year. That's why Miles was happy.
Of course, but it wasn't about the money.
But it was. It was.
So let's call it how it is, buddy.
Yeah, and I once again, the Browns are better with Miles, but I don't think Miles knows jack or crap about what the plans are. The Browns are as good as anybody in the NFL of holding their cards close to their vest. They just are. We never know what they're doing.
As we're getting closer and closer to Thursday, though, they're letting stuff slip. Like they're starting to tip the hand just a smidge.
But where? Where has it come from the Browns? This is coming from draft people. This is coming from beat writers. Nobody has said, I talked to somebody in the Browns and they're really liking so-and-so. That's not happened. This is assumptions being made by mock drafters, by beat writers. These are all assumptions. And that's why it took me so long to get off of Shedeur, because the Browns haven't said crap. Okay. Other than Andrew Berry gushing over him at the presser is kind of what, really shifted me. But they haven't told anybody their plans.
No, they're not telling anyone absolutely indirect, but it's all indirect. Like, you got to be able to, you can't bullshit a bullshitter here. Let's just call it how it is. But there are definitely things. If you watch, if you pick up, there's clues. And you can definitely tell which way the wind is blowing with them, and based on what day of the week it is, based if you can actually listen to and read between the lines. So I think you're right. I think we're taking Hunter at 2. I also wouldn't be surprised if they call Shedeur at 2. I don't know. It could go either way.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. I just think Hunter's the pick now. Where I thought Shedeur was 100% the pick for the longest time, and I just, like I said, and it's not. Once again, it was Andrew Berry not being able to hide his glee when talking about Travis Hunter.
Exactly.
Andrew Berry is a former Division I defensive back. He loves defensive backs. Where has he got the most ridicule is his drafting of wide receivers. Oh my God, this takes care of both those. He gets his DB and he gets a wide receiver he knows is going to be good to get everybody off his back about drafting Anthony Schwartz. So, so David Bell. So anyway, he's been terrible. He's literally been terrible at drafting wide receivers. He could trade for a wide receiver. He's done a nice job on that, but he's been terrible at drafting them. And so, Travis Hunter is that get out of jail. And if he is truly not being pressured by Jimmy to pick Shedeur, because Shedeur is such a Jimmy pick, by the way. Celebrity, going to sell jerseys, going to prop up that new stadium. If he hits, you got Dion coming, every game's going to be on TV. The Browns are going to be on TV all the time if Shedeur's the pick. Mm-hmm. Another reason I thought Shedeur is the pick. But if Jimmy is truly not pressuring him to go quarterback like he said, and, candidly, Jimmy's usually telling the truth when he does these pressers, too much of the truth. If that's all true, the Travis Hunter pick just makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
And as we're getting closer, and we both watched Draft Day, and we quote it several times on the pod because it is the one movie that makes Cleveland Browns football not look inept, because it's fiction. Anyway, the more I see, and I actually pay attention to Jimmy Haslam thanks to this pod, he's definitely like the Browns owner in Draft Day. He's definitely Frank Langella. Am I on the big phone? It's very much that. I don't think he's going to go to Spider-Man's, Turn Off the Dark. And
that's a good reference. That's a good reference. No, that was an S tier reference right there. Loved it.
But I can see, he wants to make a splash, and you're right, because Shedeur is a celebrity, and with that comes the media circus. But you know what? We've had 3 years of media circus because of your actions, buddy. So maybe you let the adults handle this. Maybe we don't listen to you, because clearly you just have money and not a lot of common sense. So let's not do that.
Okay, so we have agreed on the worst case scenario is anything doing with Tyler Shuck. We've agreed on that. Okay. So BB leaving Thursday night. Okay, I want your prediction. Do the Browns have 1 or 2 first round picks?
Best case scenario, they have 2.
Okay. And we are going to agree that second pick's for a quarterback, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
They're only trading up for a quarterback.
Right.
Are we in agreement that Travis Hunter is the pick of 2?
I do.
Okay. And that's a big shift for both of us. That's a big shift
It
for both of
is.
us.
It really is. I mean,
we've been on the quarterback train this whole time.
Because it makes sense. I mean, am I going to be a little bit frustrated if they don't take a quarterback at 2? Yes. And then here's why. Because you have the number 2 pick. You can literally have anybody you want. There's no what ifs.
But Cam Ward.
Cam Ward was never on their radar, and they know it. And you know it too. Deep down, he's
QB1 on. He is QB1 on their board. I promise you, he is QB1 on. Yes, he is. He absolutely is the top QB on their board.
No, he's not.
You're drinking the liquid death in the haterade over there.
It's delicious.
But go ahead.
It makes sense to take your QB pick at 2 because you can literally have anybody you want, with the exception of Cam Ward, because he was never on their radar, and they knew that. But anyway, you've done this enough in past drafts. Don't mess around. Just do what you want. Go after the guy you want. Because how many times can we sit there and say, the Browns passed on so-and-so who now has X amount of Super Bowl rings for Anthony Schwartz or for
Cedric Wills, Greg Newsome.
Oh God, can we get rid of
Courtney Brown?
Yeah. So that list, you need 17 jerseys to fix. If that,
Johnny
that's
football.
Yeah, Johnny Chicho Johnny. I refuse to call him his name. But it also does make sense to take Hunter at 2 because again, he does fit some of the needs that we desperately have. Ideally, what I would love to see, and this is like now, or if we're going to shoot for the moon, I'd love to see Hunter. I'd love to see Milroe, or Howard. Depending on who. So Hunter, a QB, and I'm gonna be real greedy and say Jack Sawyer. I want to see him be a menace on the Lakeshore.
Jack Sawyer could be there with their first third round pick if they still have it. Like he could be there.
He might be, but I don't know. All right, so best case scenario for you.
Best case scenario for me is we're looking all offense. I want Travis Hunter. I want Jalen Milroe, and I want the best running back on the board at 67 when they pick there. That's what I want. And throw the ball out there. You just got a heck of a lot more explosive on offense. Their offense averaged 15 points a game last year. Is the worst performing offense in the history of the Cleveland Browns. Historically, one of the worst quarterback seasons in the history of the NFL. We know one thing Joe Flacco is going to do. He's going to chuck the ball down the field. He might throw some picks, but he's going to be exciting. The team's going to be a lot more fun. And if you get some of these young kids in there that are absolutely electric with the football, the Browns' future is in good hands. And I think they're not winning a Super Bowl next year, and it pains me to say that they're not winning a Super Bowl. But can we see the beginnings of a contender with this draft? If the draft goes well enough, we absolutely can. And so
at this point, hell, I'd be happy with a split season. Like if you break 500, I will be a happy BB.
And we love happy BB on the pod. We don't want angry BB. We don't want spicy BB. We love happy BB.
Spicy BB is kind of entertaining.
Spicy BB does help the ratings. So
all right, you know what? So as we kind of wrap this up a little bit, I want to reach out. I'm going to talk directly to Andrew Berry. Andrew, how's your mama and them? Good? Okay. I have 4 words for you. Don't F this up. Okay? Thank you.
Hey, Andrew. BC here. And come in here. Oh. You seem like a good guy. You seem like a great guy. I'm rooting for you. As a Browns fan, I'm rooting for you. And as a human, I think you're a good dude. You know, that being said, I need you to draft like your job depends on it. Because guess what, buddy? It does this year. This draft doesn't go your way, Andrew. Jimmy is not taking that bullet for this one. He took the DW4 bullet. He's not taking this one. So let's get this right. Let's get some exciting guys. And let's win some football games. And with that, go Browns.
So I think it's a good place to stop.
I do too.
Ready to go. We shall see what Thursday night brings us. I love you and your props. I do. From the dog pound to the shoe and all of the shenanigans and props in between, I'm BB.
And I'm BC.
This has been the I-71 Playbook Podcast.
Go Browns.